Well, hey there, folks. I'm Meteorologist Matt Barrentine. Hope you're having yourself a good day out there. I'm sorry, I got to turn down my monitor here, otherwise I get some echo. We have some rain on the way here for us later today and going on into the evening. You can see it there. It's not in our viewing area yet. In fact, still over around, looks like Bay St. Louis area and down in towards the Chandeleur Islands here in Louisiana. There is some thunder and lightning in here, so it isn't just straight up showers. This will have some thunderstorm action. We're not anticipating anything severe tonight. We're not going to get to that level, but we probably will hear a few rumbles of thunder with these showers and storms as they work their way on through. But you can see they're still pretty far to the south out there. So that's good news for the afternoon commute, because here it is, 2 o'clock. I think it's far enough away to where we're not going to be seeing this during the actual commute time. But if you have to get around tonight, like after work, run around, go to the grocery store, something like that, you certainly could run into some of these showers and thunderstorms. You can see all the action here. I'm going to actually widen this thing out a little bit and go to the west across Louisiana, all the rain that's developing there. This will eventually work its way here towards us. All right, so let's get to that. Let's check out the futurecast. Here it is at around 6. So here's what I'm talking about. So we get through the commute time. It looks like okay. And then once we get to a little bit later than that, say around 7, 8 o'clock, let me back that up. I went too far. Let's get back to, let's go at hour by hour here. So I'm going to slide it back to 7 here. Just starting to come in around 7, and then let me slide it up to right around 8 here. So there we are at 8 o'clock. So this is probably when we're going to have the most widespread rain starting. It's around 7:30, 8 o'clock. So like I said, we get through our afternoon commute okay. I mean, yeah, our afternoon, evening commute okay. But then the evening will be pretty wet, it looks like. We'll have rain here across the area. So good chance of rain tonight. That continues into the late hours. You can still see more showers. That's 11 o'clock. Still continuing to see rain. It's going to work its way across during the overnight hours. And how about tomorrow morning when you're waking up? Probably still going to have some leftover rain around. It'll be improving, I believe, around daybreak, but we'll still have some leftover rain around. Things will be generally kind of wet and nasty. The roads will still be wet for sure. That's what we're looking at here. So that's overnight tonight. So, and that isn't it. Let me let's move on here. Let me get you a different. This is similar model, but it runs a little longer. That was the shortest of the short range models. Only goes out 18 hours, so that can only take you through to tomorrow morning. This one will take us a bit beyond that. So once again, shows widespread rain this evening. Widespread rain this evening into the wee hours of the morning. And then as we get up tomorrow morning, this model shows very similar situation where east of 65 still pretty wet around 7, but west of 65 showing some improvement for the morning commute. Pretty quiet around lunchtime for the most part. And then we get into the afternoon and another round of rain. So this will be in time, looks like tomorrow, for like the afternoon commute. So this is Tuesday at 5. A round of heavier rain and thunderstorms here for us tomorrow. Let me I'll do this in just a second. Let me just put up something here. I wanted to see if they've updated here from the Storm Prediction Center. The day 2, I have to find it here real quick. Bear with me just for a second. The day 2, there it is. So this is the severe outlook for tomorrow. We are on the very edge of a level 1. I mean, very, very edge. And it's just a level 1. So the concerns for severe weather won't be high for tomorrow, Tuesday afternoon, when those showers and storms are moving through. But there will be some thunderstorms mixed into all this. And you can see a very small sliver. They put Grand Bay basically into the severe outlook for tomorrow. I guess it's going to storm heavy in Grand Bay, not as much in Mobile. Yeah, the line has to be drawn somewhere basically. So we're on the edge of all this, and I don't anticipate. And there's no real bullseye here. You'll notice either. There's only a level 1 here all across Louisiana, Arkansas, parts of East Texas. So there is no bullseye here of some stronger storms. So this is just sort of a general area where a few isolated thunderstorm or two could get a little bit stronger. but we're not anticipating certainly anything widespread severe across the deep south. We should be okay, but just be aware that we're going to have some thunderstorms mixed in with all this stuff out there. Once again, that'll be first round tonight, rain and thunderstorms this evening, and then another round Tuesday afternoon, say around 4 or 5 o'clock. It looks to be the time we'll get the most rain out of that. Let's move on. Let's talk about some of the other things going on. We'll move down the line here, and what we're going to move down to tomorrow, obviously big rain chance. Wednesday, Thursday, quiet. Friday, another big rain chance. And I want you to notice this. They've already marked us up from the Storm Prediction Center for a severe risk on Friday. Now, it's confusing how they do this. Up to 3 days out, that previous map I showed you with the marginal, the moderate, yeah, that's our typical risk zones that we show. When it gets out past 3 days, they put out these more general zones or outlooks, not really zones, or outlooks, and all they'll put up is 15 or 30% chance of severe weather. So it is a little confusing how they do this. It's kind of a mixed bag with how they do this product. So they do 2 different products at 2 different times. When they go out far like this, they just put up either 15% or 30%. But I'll tell you, when they even put up a 15% 5-6 days out, that means we're pretty likely to get some stronger storms. Now this will change as you get closer. They'll kind of work on it, and of course we'll eventually get to where they might put us up a level 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever it is, as the forecast as it get closer to it. But nonetheless, just keep that in mind on Friday that we could get some stronger storms out of this. Let me see. I haven't put together one of these yet. Actually, I have right here. Okay, well, actually, this will kind of work. All right, so this is the long-range model, and I'm showing you, first off, Tuesday, showing the rain, the storms around on Tuesday. Then it'll roll through Wednesday and Thursday here, pretty quiet Wednesday and Thursday. And then we get to Friday. That's noon on Friday, still west of us, so it looks like it'll be later in the day on Friday, which could be obviously problematic if you're going out Friday night or something like that. Timing of this obviously could still change. We're still a number of days out. But right now, the modeling is showing an evening event for showers and thunderstorms. Remember, we could be looking at the possibility of some severe weather here. Just a possibility. Won't know yet. That's going to happen. That's 7 a.m. Saturday morning, so you got early soccer games or something like that, early baseball games with the kids. Yeah, we might have some issues here on Saturday morning. Now, as we go through the day on Saturday, it looks like things will begin to improve. But the first half of the day is likely to be wet. So Friday night, Saturday morning through about midday on Saturday, that's the next round. I want you to check this out too. What are we talking about rainfall-wise? Well, let's look at the first system. I got this stopped at 8:30 tomorrow on your Tuesday. And the modeling is showing 1.5 inches to about 2.5 inches. That's just off that first round. Now we're going to roll through Wednesday and Thursday, then eventually back into Friday. And then look what happens here now. So now we've piled up tonight and tomorrow's rain, and then Friday and Saturday's rain. And the model is showing anywhere from about 3.5 inches to 5 inches. Actually nearly 6 in Destin. One thing I always tell folks when you're looking at what we call these accumulation models, don't ever get focused on the exact numbers and say, wow, I'm in Bay Minette, so we're going to get 3.82 inches of rain this week. No, you're not. It'll never happen like that. These models are not that good when it comes to doing this stuff. What they can give us is kind of a range of possibilities. And this is just showing us that it's a pretty good possibility that we're going to see a decent amount of rain. 3 or 4 inches of rain is going to be a possibility. That's probably on the high end of the possibilities, but it's possible, okay? Like I said, don't take those exact numbers as gospel, because that's just not how it's going to work. And I'll show you what I mean here. We'll roll through the GFS model. So this is another one of our other good long-range model. Midday on Tuesday showing the rain, and then Wednesday and Thursday we'll just kind of roll through without much activity, and then we'll get to Friday again, and the rain will move on in. So here's Friday. I'll hit the button again. I'll continue to Friday evening. Rain around continue into Saturday morning, rain around through Saturday afternoon, and then it moves on out. So the timing, the American and the European model, almost exactly the same. Very little difference there. Now let's look at the accumulation. So I'll run the accumulation model for the American. Through the first round, this is through the Tuesday round, and it shows a lot of rain in the Panhandle and about an inch west of 65. All right, so now let's roll this thing all the way through and get through Friday and Saturday. Now remember that other model, the European, showed 3 to about almost 6 inches rain, 3 to 6 inches. This one, lowest is just about 2 inches. The highest is a little bit over 5 inches, just 5.5. So 2 to 5.5. So it's very, honestly, it's pretty close, pretty similar is what we're looking at here with the rainfall amounts here out of these two models. So if we're going to kind of go through these different numbers, what we can anticipate, probably going to see 2 to 3 inches of rain across the area. And there could be spots that get higher than that over this upcoming week, okay? So just something to be aware of. We're looking at some good rain chances this week. I anticipate several inches of rain piling up all together. Now it won't fall all at one time, obviously. We're talking about several different rounds of rain tonight, one later in the day tomorrow, and then probably Friday, kind of around late afternoon into the evening, and then even into parts of Saturday. So we might be talking about 4 or 5 separate rounds of rainfall. So, you know, if you get a half inch with each one of those, maybe an inch with one here and there, you can see how it's going to add up over, you know, through the weekend. So that I was taking you out through Sunday with those rainfall amounts. So we're talking 5-6 days down the line. So you can see, once again, good rain chance there, good rain chance on Friday. We may have to bump the rain chance up on Saturday. We're just going to have to wait and see. Right now, we're going to keep it scattered around 40%. Then you can see a little cooler on Sunday. Not like bitterly cold, but cooler. And I've been keeping an eye on the long-range models. I do not see another freeze yet, which is interesting because we may get through, folks, without another freeze. It's getting to that point where I'm anticipating we may not see another freeze. And so the last one we had was on February 19th. If that holds up, that is a really early last freeze, if that makes sense to you. That is an early last freeze. I mean, last year we had one on March 20th. That was a late last freeze, as you can see from the last several years. Generally, on average, in Mobile, the last freeze is on March 1st. Obviously, we're past that date. But if February 19th holds up, and I'm looking at these 2-week models. I don't see even 30s happening. I've seen there's a couple of upper 40s that we're probably going to see next weekend. That's Sunday, remember I showed there. But I'm not seeing anything even within sniffing distance of freezing as we go through. Here we are 14 days out. It takes us pretty late into March now, a little more than halfway. So we'll see. Like I said, these are mid to upper 40s Sunday and Monday of next week. But then you can see back up into the 70s there on the 10-day forecast. So I don't see another freeze. So we may end up with February 19th being our last freeze of the season, looking more and more like that's going to be the case. If you're somebody who likes to got that green thumb, you may want to go ahead and get them out there and start planting. I mean, it's pretty good bet that we may not get another cold snap. You know, I'm not going to give you any guarantees on it. So there's always that. There's like I said, last year we got one on March 20th. So I mean, there's still a chance that we could get another cold blast, and I think we'll get something chilly before it all wraps up. I just don't know if we'll get all the way down to freezing. It'll take a lot to get us down to freezing at this point. We may see something where it gets like the upper 30s or something, but we'll see. Anyway, once again, that's the long-range modeling. A lot to watch out for this week. Multiple rounds of rain tonight going into tomorrow. We'll get rain tonight. I'm going to go ahead and, if you've just joined us, I'm going to go ahead and run the shorter range model again. just so you can see tonight. So, because this is going to be the most, what's going to be the most impactful for us here in the short term. This is 8 o'clock this evening. Widespread rain across the area is a real possibility, 10 o'clock. So I'm hopeful that we can get everybody home from work, everybody home from school before the rain really gets going tonight. The rain hasn't started yet across our area. It's going to take a few hours to get here. Probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock is when the first rain starts falling. And then 8, 9 o'clock, it really starts to fill in. So hopefully you can get everything done. If you got to run to the grocery store or something like that. I know one of my kids has soccer practice tonight till 6:30. Hopeful that, he can get done with the soccer practice before the rain starts. And then here we go into Tuesday, or tonight. This is midnight tonight. Now we'll go into Tuesday morning. And I think we'll still have rain around, especially the eastern part of our area. If check in with Michael if you want to check on the road conditions, because even if it stopped raining where you're at, obviously things are going to be kind of damp and wet after raining most of the night. And it looks like we'll have a break in the middle of the day here on Tuesday, wrong T-Day, Tuesday, tomorrow. And then we're going to have another round of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. And right now it's saying 5 o'clock. Obviously that's commute time, and it's showing it right in commute time. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it changes by a few hours here or there, but just something to be aware of. So we're going to get some rain tonight, say starting at about 7 o'clock or so, going into about midnight or even to early tomorrow morning. And then kind of quiet in the middle of the day tomorrow, then another round in the later part of the afternoon tomorrow on your Tuesday. That is what we are looking at. All right, I've got to get going, so I got to get ready for our 3 o'clock show. Obviously, we'll have the 4 o'clock show, the 5 o'clock show, all that good stuff, keep you up to date. If you're watching us on Facebook, please download our app. It is free. It works. We have a great, tonight, you could really use the radar on our app. That'll be very helpful if you're trying to get ready for the weather. And I'm telling you, our radar on here is actually really good. It works it's super quick. I just pulled it up and it just works. That's what I love about our radar app. It just works very easily. It works very well. It's very smooth. You can loop it. So if you want to see a loop going, you can do the future cast on it for, I think, the next 6 to 8 hours, something like that. It just works very, very well. So just we used to have about a year and a half ago, we had a different app, and it was terrible. The radar on it wasn't very good. The radar on this app is really good. So our Fox 10 weather app, it's free. Download it, and it works very, very well. You can keep up to date with all this stuff. All right, check us out, 3, 4, and 5, 9. Like I said, I got to get going. I'm getting behind on my stuff. I hope you have yourselves a good day. We'll catch up with you soon.